aloud. Today, the committee will examine how robots, automation, and technology are transforming our economy. I'd like to thank our witnesses for being here, and I'll be introducing the three of you shortly. But first, I'd like to draw the committee's attention to the gavel that I just used to start today's hearing. It looks and functions like a typical gavel, but this gavel, which we normally use, is crafted out of a block of wood and carved down to a machine will carve this down into the form that it is. This one started as a pile of dust, a compound, a plastic compound. And instead of taking a block of wood and carving down the traditional gavel, we have built this, not me, this has been built through 3D printing process. The Washington, D.C. Public Library's Fabrication Laboratory, or what they call the Fab Lab, using 3D printing. An amazing advance in technology, amazing. 3D printing works by heating up raw material, and in this case plastic, in the compound from which plastic is made, one small layer at a time until the object is completed. And rather than needing to mold or carve raw material as we did in the past, we now put our file into a printer, and it creates the item according to the user's specific expectations and specifications. I also have with me a different 3D printed gavel that we will use to adjourn the meeting. I'll have to bang it a little harder. But it was made by students at the Washington Mathematics Science Technology Public Charter High School, located here in the District of Columbia. What an exciting new world we live in, and where objects can be manufactured on demand and with such ease and specificity. I'd like to thank both institutions for their contributions to today's hearings, which tangibly illustrate the topic we're about to explore. I'd also like to thank Senator Lee and his staff for helping the committee prepare for today's hearing. Recent technological developments have been pushing the envelope faster and further than was expected even a decade ago, making what was once thought of as a science fiction a reality. I remember the hassle of getting my children to program our VCR, and now my cable box is capable of recording all my favorite shows without me even asking. And meanwhile, some of my grandchildren are probably saying, "What was a VCR?" The robotic machines are here. Whether it is vacuuming our carpets or assisting in precise surgeries, robots are helping with and performing almost every task that we can imagine. This has led to a greater abundance of consumer products and more productivity and creative workers. However, as with the Industrial Revolution and previous revolutions, this new robotic revolution clearly is contributing to pressures arising within our changing labor force. Even before these technological advances, America's workforce was starting to age, and businesses were beginning to rely much more on automated labor than physical labor. Robots are expected to hasten this trend as they fill in for humans in both blue and white-collar jobs. This picture, which I'm going to put up, I don't know where it is, we were going to put up somewhere, shows a modern assembly line and illustrates the prevalence of automation in today's economy. Where workers used to assemble vehicles directly by hand, now they oversee teams of precise robots that can weld and assemble vehicles far more advanced than ever before. We have a number of assembly plants in Indiana. I've been through each and every one of them over a period of my service dating back to 1981 in the Congress. I'm used to seeing that line filled with dozens of human beings assembling parts to the making of an automobile or a truck, hand by hand. Now all I see is a number of robots doing that same process. Where workers used to assemble directly by hand, they now oversee through teams of precise robots that can weld and assemble vehicles far more advanced than ever before. Automation's rapid progress has also raised challenges with certain government policies. How can we foster an environment where innovators thrive and grow? How can we foster a social safety net prepared for 21st century labor markets? Do some government policies make human workers prohibitively expensive for employers? How will current workers adapt? And is our education system preparing our youngest citizens for the future economy? These are important questions, and for guidance, we look forward to hearing the views of our distinguished witnesses. Today, we will hear from Dr. Andrew McAfee, Principal Research Scientist and co-founder of MIT's Institute Initiative on the Digital Economy. We also welcome Adam Kuiper, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, Adam, fellow at the Ethics and Public Policy Center and editor of the quarterly technology publication, The New Atlantis. Our final witness is Harry Holzer, professor at the McCourt School of Public Policy at Georgetown University and senior fellow in economic studies at the Brookings Institution. My thanks to all of you for providing us with your expertise and giving us a glimpse and the possibilities of the future.